Alright, now we're at the one that you were excited for me to get to, Zeno. The bathing tub and communist water. That is a interesting title. The bathing tub and communist water. Well, here we go. Save. SCP-1974 is to be contained in a standard low-value atom storage vault at Site 242. Any D-Class personnel or researchers may perform interviews or testing with SCP-1974 with permission from any researcher or senior researchers working on SCP-1974. Description: SCP-1974 is a freestanding ceramic bathtub with a capacity of 148.2 liters, typical of the kind sold in the United States from the 1930s through the mid-1960s. When recovered, it contained 124 liters of water. Any substance added to the water inside of SCP-1974 will be drained or filtered out through unknown means. If drained, SCP-1974 will refill itself at a rate equivalent to the rate at which it is being drained, maintaining a constant volume of 124 liters. When the subject makes contact with the water inside of SCP-1974, they will immediately begin to hear two voices. One voice, hereby designated -1, has been described as that of an American male of about 85 years of age. The other voice, hereby designated as -2, has been described as a male with a thick Russian accent of around the same age. The former claims to be SCP-1974, while the latter claims to be the water-filling SCP-1974. -1 and -2 appear to dislike each other and are described as debating constantly, which we have a couple debating. Okay, we will read this. Okay, we will read this after this. The debates between -1 and -2 are about capitalism, communism, and the historical and current states of the United States of America, the Soviet Union, and China. So the former, which is -1 claims to be the okay, the former is -1, with the American voice claims to be the tub, while the water claims to be -2. Audio log. -1. Forward. Dr. Hall performs an interview with -1, -2 in an attempt to assert their origin. Hello. Would you mind if I asked you some No. The Russians would never won if the Cuban Missile Crisis wasn't resolved. Maybe if you got an American education instead of a Russian one, you'd be smart enough to make comments like that. Oh, really? Wait, hold on. Gotta practice. The American educational system was so much better than the Soviet one. Look at the statistics. With the children of the motherland being that much better at science, you'd hope that we could have won a war against you egotists. In fact, with smart Soviet kids and an ally like China, how could the communists not become the dominant political party? I have questions about your origins. Would you please answer them because communism was followed by a deranged crowd who wants to share when you can't get rich like I was. The people in China are perfectly happy. And would you look at that? China also has smarter kids than the US and a better economy and a bigger military. Maybe if America could stop staring at its muscles in the mirror, it could try to fend off the impending communist invasion by China. It will matter though. You'll be beaten anyway. Communism is bound to return to power. All you can do is hope. Because you'll never be able to escape me without dying. Communism will never be able to escape capitalism. America is eternal. What do you think of that, commie? Whose fault is that you are like this? Remember why we're here, Tuppy? It's because big smart Americans thought it would be a great idea to try to turn a Soviet POW into a tub of water. Then you thought, hey, I wonder if I could be a bathtub. Well, guess what? You can now, and now we're both trapped here, damn it. I think water got dumber from getting your consciousness. Egotistical ass, Soviet savage, wasp, cook, yank, Ivan, I wish I could be trained. I wish I could train you. Maybe you'd shut up for once if your only company is worms. I hope you get smashed. Both of you, for God's sake, your bathtub filled with water. Why are you arguing about politics of all things? Because we need something to do. For once we agree about something. What else do you two do? Well, we talk about how much we hate you a lot, ass. So back to the debate. What? Indeed. Oh no, I'm not done yet. So what you're telling me is that you just sit here insulting each other and going in circles and arguing about politics for fun. And when you get bored of that, you talk about me behind my back? That sums it up. Now if you excuse us, Doctor, thank you for the information. I will interview you again soon. Dr. Hall terminates contact with SCP-1974 and leaves the testing chamber. I love the idea of a showerhead and wallet that talks in debate about countries. Why a showerhead if it's a bathtub? Or is that like your other version, like another version of this SCP? Also, what was your thumbnail idea? I'm curious, because I might do it. And now we have analytics. Jacob Alden stared at the bathroom ceiling, glanced far into the bathtub. That's probably the bathtub we just read. And only her face breached the surface. She was beginning to regret her day's purchase. Damn her impatience. If she had just taken the time to learn how to copy her consciousness and bind it to an inanimate object, her life would have been so much easier. But instead she took the quick route, the lazy path, and bought this stupid American tub with his stupid Russian one. And they wouldn't even tell her how they came to be. All they would ever talk about was communism in America and Mother Russia and blah 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 blah. If you two don't shut up, I swear to God, I will turn you into a fucking toilet. Sir, ma'am, whatever I should be calling you. I'm an ass man. I will welcome this change. Shit in this comedy stupid. At least Alden could say she learned a lesson from it all. Do your own legwork. Research like proper anarchists, or you will end up with two idiots jamming into your brain. The library was always open. All she had to do was wander in. She lifted herself into a stand and bade the duo a half-hearted farewell. They of course ignored her to talk about more inane bullshit. She dried herself off with a thankfully non-sapient towel and dressed in clothes that lacked even a hint of sentience, as things should be. Shutting the door behind her made her feel a little better, but that much more put that much more between her and a giant mistake. At least the rest of her apartment was welcoming. A tiny space packed with random and artistic garbage amassed between her and her roommate, Finnegan. Small moving statues, speaking paintings, CDs filled with mood-altering music, bags of clay, stacks of pallets, stacks of concrete mix, bucket upon buckets of paint. It was a sty, but it was their sty. It was home. Staring at his computer monitor was Finnegan, his ever-present beret displaced by the sound-canceling headphones covering his ears. Finnegan was palming an old bathtub plug, spinning it in his finger. Alden scurried through the minefield of art supplies and flicked off the beret. It took several seconds for Finnegan to notice. I'm pretty sure I read about these guys. Because I think these are the same guys who did the one SCP where one actor, what is his name again? Famous actor. Hugo Weaving, where every movie had Hugo Weaving in it, and I think it's the same group because they also were anarchists. Actually, let me double check. Right now. Hugo Weaving. Was it them? This was a great one. I really enjoyed this one. Where is the... Here it is. Oh no, it's Alden. But it's also Finn? Never mind, it's just Alden and Finn, but it's interesting. Oh, they're not anarchists though. Okay, I was wrong this time. I thought it was the same people. Yeah, no, never mind. Let's go on. Oh, hey, Allie. And the eyebrow rose slowly. What's the matter with you? Stupid goddamn bathtub, she pouted. I told you, he sang knowingly. It is pretty funny, you have to admit. Alan just crossed her arms and sulked. Fingers danced across the keyboard as Finnegan saved and closed his latest audio project. He grabbed his beret and pressed it into Alden's face while he removed his headphones. Alden laughed but swiped at him out of mock irritation and all the same. The roommates exchanged a series of playful punches before Finnegan donned his hat again. Ready to go? He asked, still smirking. As ever? The autistic duo left the little apartment, making sure to lock up behind themselves. Out of the personal alcove, they were out in the real world, where they were supposed to be responsible adults. They walked adult strides, spoke of adult topics like sports, taxes, and weather. How about that weather? It sure was weathering. And those taxes sure were taxing, not to mention how boring the sports were. The responsible duo entered the library and dropped their conversation. One had to respect the rules of the library, capital L or not. They wandered through the aisles until they reached their destination. A quick perusal of the shelf, and Alton plucked a specific tome from its brethren. It was even halfway out, as if it knew it was one she wanted. One Atlas shrugged. She flipped open the book to a random page, made sure the coast was clear, and cleared her throat. Okay, a bathtub right, and speech bubbles are arguments that were in the addendum, and they are pointing to the water. Your avatar is doing a confused, laughing pose that how they hate each other and they argue. I was more thinking of just making the bathtub having an American flag and the water have a Soviet Union flag, while my avatar is in the water, just fucking like doing the confused face. And we can have like yeah, the title. That was my idea of the thumbnail. Kind of like yeah, like the water is the color of the Soviet Union flag, basically. Or just have the flag transparently in it to indicate that it is a Soviet Union water. Man, this is one interesting book, she said, without a hint of sarcasm. That was the important bit. I'm really glad I found it. She snapped the book shut and slid it halfway back into place. She gripped the spine and twisted. The book spun with her hand and she gave it a light push. The bookshelf bent inwards as space twisted open into a portal. Finnegan giggled as he always did and hurried in. Alden right behind him. With a gentle nudge, the door was shut again, and space collapsed back into a state of normalcy. The book still sticking out by several inches. Inside the Wanderer's library, Finnegan and Alden felt more at ease. It was their home, away from home, where they were free to be their goofy selves so long as they followed the 5 core tenets. Return your books on time. Don't damage books. Don't steal books. Don't damage library property. Don't harm those within the library. Easy enough. Though they had to remind themselves not to indulge in the usual roughhousing for fear of it breaking the 5th rule. The library itself loomed above, below, and all around them in a grand omniscience. Doors surrounded them in the small marble lobby, each representing more common ways to reach the library. Separating the lobby from the branch of the library was an archivist, one with its chair. Beyond that was a branching staircase that led to the different sections of the library, which paid no mind to the primitive concept of gravity. Alden looked up and saw a man who appeared to be sitting upside down, reading a book against the shelf he found. A page read over his shoulder as it stalked the shelves. On another floor, a docent strode perpendicular to them, leading another wanderer to her destination. Beyond the spiraling mess that was this branch, seemingly hovering in the distance, was another branch of the library containing all the knowledge of another reality. Beyond even that lay more branches, twisting and turning and intertwining again amongst each other, often only a hair's breadth apart. The 2 wanderers approached the archivist Finnegan. Finnegan cleared his throat and opened his mouth to speak, but then when the unseen librarian turned to look at him, he followed into a mumble. He had never been particularly comfortable with the librarians. Can I help you? It asked. Its breath matched the scent of a freshly printed novel. Oh, never mind. Okay, because I want the idea that the librarians are actually like creepy, but if it's the fresh, its breath matched the... Oh, actually, the breath. So it can still sound like that. Never mind. We're looking for the book that can teach us to make our own ways, Alden said. We've been using a common one, but we need to transport something and it's too convenient otherwise. Silence fell as the archivist thought, well, there's a cargo. Cause damage to the library. Its contents or its occupants. No, it's just a tub. Well, a talking tub. We need to get it to Japan. There was a slight twitch in the archivist's face. Alden allowed herself to smile since it wouldn't catch her doing so. Very well. It lifted a long finger and without looking, it pointed at what seemed to a random direction above it. Up 3 floors. On the left. 3rd row. Page 12. A book titled A Wondrous Guide by Lucifer. Do you require a docent to help you find it? Finnegan frantically shook his head, his beret sliding to and fro. Alden stifled a giggle and replied with, no, I think we'll be alright, thank you. The archivist nodded. Enjoy your stay. Mind the rules. Of course. Also, the thumbnail for SCP-1930 will be your avatar on the TV and some documentary of a man that was colored blue and on its resonance. No, I already have an idea for that one. That one is gonna be a lot more crazier. That's why I said it's gonna take that thumbnail is gonna take me a little bit longer, but I already got an idea. Several weeks later, Finnegan and Alden found themselves in Japan. They had taken up pseudo-residence in the warehouse the competition was being held in, as had several other artists while they finished their works. One artist was occupied trying to find a way to make his chainsaws remain active. Another was attempting to unwind by playing the piano, making up a part of his piece. The event's creator, also participant, was actively avoiding his wife. I'm almost done, bro. I'm almost done. Finnegan was sitting atop an abnormally large tortoise, his nose buried in a book. The tortoise, for whatever reason, because I've always been doing this. I read the tales that go along with the story, but the extra lore. We're almost done. Just be patient. The tortoise, for whatever reason, was wearing his beret. Alden sat against the bathtub, toying with some pots and pans. This activity had nothing to do with her extreme exhaustion, or she would tell you. The sound of sandals slipping and flopping disrupted her potting and panning as a man in a Hawaiian t-shirt approached her work area. Hi there, the man said. Alden looked up at him with an expression she hoped conveyed her irritation. She either failed, or the man simply didn't care. He adjusted his stupid fedora sitting on his goofy-looking red hair. A joint project, eh? What are you guys working on? We're gonna use this piece of shit to power a giant turtle with water jet cannons, Alden said, banging a skillet on the side of the tub. Tortoise, Finnegan corrected without looking up. Alden pointed a pan in Finnegan's direction. Fuck you. Turtles are the ones in water. But the model you showed me was a tortoise, Finnegan said while half yawning. We got the tortoise I'm sitting on so we could see how one moves. What? No, I didn't. Alden fell onto the side as she reached for the small mock sculpture she had made. Still on the side, she held up with the man in Hawaiian shirt, which clearly qualified him to speak on the situation. This is a turtle, right? It's a tortoise. Turtles have flatter, lighter shells and have webbed feet. The fedora wearing hovered over the bathtub. Well, what's the tub do? I made a fucking tortoise. Oh, it makes infinite water. Stick your hand in it. This is super long for an SCP that is invisible voices arguing about communism. If you think this is long, I read a couple that were like 2 hours long. This is we're still within like the half an hour point with this one. The man did so without a second thought. His eyebrows rose for a moment and he waited. He listened. He withdrew his hand and placed both hands on the rim of the bathtub. Alden watched his mouth tug back and forth before he looked down at the water. Down at her. I could kill you for this. I could kill this for you. After the competition, of course. Hey, been one. Like 730. Yeah, that's one example, but yeah. Ha! Alden found herself taking a small liking to the man. He didn't look familiar, but it was entirely possible she had spoken with him before.
Faces ran together in events like this for her. Probably had something to do with the soul-crushing stress and the mind-numbing lack of sleep. Maybe. Thanks. But as dumb as they are, I don't want them dead. Well, I could still take it off your hands. I have some old friends who would love it. He waved his hand around as if he could pluck the phrase he was searching for from the air. They're obsessive collectors, so to speak. They can have it then. Thanks. Alden finally pushed herself back into a sitting position, craning her neck to look around. So, which is yours? Oh, I'm not competing. I'm just a nobody who felt like watching. Alden felt like there was something she was missing, but was too tired to care. Well, anyway, if you excuse me, I have to figure out how to make a pressurized water tank out of a rice cooker. I already did that, Finnegan called from the tortoise. His voice seemed quieter with the stranger around. The book even closer to his face than before. You should stop mixing the concrete. Alden jerked around as she looked at all the crap they had lying around. When the hell did you do that? Yesterday, I think? Hey, where's my hat? Finnegan fell off the tortoise unceremoniously in an attempt to find said hat, asleep by the time he hit the ground. Just... Nobody chuckled. You guys are a bit over your heads, eh? Alden snored in response. Oh, they fell asleep? Oh, did a Hawaiian shirt guy put them in a sleeping spell? The crowd of artists roared in anticipation as the siren went off. Two anarchistic monstrosities were positioned opposite each other in the ring. Are we getting like the one? What is a show where like two robots get to fight with each other in the ring? Is this what's happening? Are we having Pokemon? Is this Pokemon? Marked as a giant circle with a boxing glove holding a paintbrush in the center. A giant stone platypus. Robot Wars, yeah, that's what it is. A giant stone platypus standing a 40-meter tall faced against a concrete tortoise with a pair of metal tubes protruding from its shell coming up to an even 60 meters tall. Alden and Finnegan almost had to lean against each other just to stay standing. They had it done, but only barely. The announcer declared the battle was about to begin, and that the artists were to activate their respective mechas. It is Robot Wars! Can you do it? Finnegan mumbled. Alden should have seen that coming, really. You made the thing, you should do it first. I wouldn't want to have to do it in front of... Oh, get over it! Come on, you say one thing and it's a funny thing, and then you just think the rest. No having to talk to the scary people. He held a bathtub plug in his hand, twisting his wrist to make the small chain spin. He sighed, spun his barrel around, and took a deep breath. I choose you, copyright infringement. They fucking did. So, when Alden said we made a turtle with cannons on its side, it's supposed to be Blastoise. It is Pokemon. Okay, gotcha. And what is the other one? Two artistic monstrosities were positioned opposite each other, marked as a giant circle with a boxing glove holding a paintbrush in the center. A giant stone platypus standing at 40 meters. I love that. I love that, like, so she basically joined into a Pokemon battle to get rid of the fucking bathtub. She was like, please, somebody has to take this bathtub away from me. Okay, there we go. See, there you go. It wasn't that bad. Now, Xeno, you survived. You had to read about some wizards creating their own Pokemon and being shit tired. Not sure about the wait, Alden's number. Not sure, to be honest. No, it's Aldon. It's spelled like this. But yeah, like, see, like, you know, you survived. I'm tearing up chicken right now, so it wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad at all. We now know that Pokemon is canon. It's canon in the SCP community. Pokemon exists.